Welcome back to our big broadcast. We are coast to coast and border to border on TuneIn, iTunes, Radio Loyalty, Stitcher, 50-plus AM FM stations across the country and around the world, iHeartRadio as well. Find us on iTunes, all the various spots, and download the iHeartRadio app today and listen to us live. Also, AMFM, 247.com. We have got a great guest with us today. He joins us live on the telephone, Dr. Bruce L. Hartman. He is the author of Jesus & Co., Connecting the Lessons of the Gospel with Today's Business World, and he joins us today here on the telephone. Now, Bruce, tell us a little bit about your book, because the cover is amazing. I've never seen a cover like this before. I think this is really cool. Tell us about the book.
Well, the book was good. Sorry, the book was written from two perspectives that I combined, and one was from my perspective as being a senior leader at Fortune 500 companies. And as I had done, I did very well in that profession and saw a lot of wonderful people and was able to work with some terrific people. And later in my career, I left the business world to enter the theological school, and got my master's degree and got my doctorate degree. And one of the things I discovered is that there's a gap between what the business world thinks about the religious world and the religious world thinks about the business world. And the fact of the matter is that they're very compatible in three ways. Number one, I think pastors are very sincere people that try to do a great job and get up every morning trying to help their flock. For the most part, regardless of the headlines that we see, certainly there is people that are greedy, mischievous in the business world. But most of the people that I worked with, they get up every morning wanting to do a good job. They wanted to make a living, to pay their bills, and they wanted to have a relationship with God. So what I tried to do in this book was show a bridge on how both worlds can see each other so that the theological world wouldn't be as suspicious of the business world and vice versa. And so that was really the purpose of the book, was that and it's actually my ministry, which is to help business people in the relationship with God.
Fantastic. It is a great guest with us today. He joins us live here on our broadcast, Dr. Bruce L. Hartman, and he's got Jesus & Co. It is a fantastic read. Tell us a little about the book itself. The writing process, what you decided how you decided to piece this book together, all these things.
Well, it's really a great question. I didn't know nothing about how to write a book. And so I thought the first thing I should do is find an editor that could help me frame how to think about this.
Okay.
So I literally stalked this one gentleman to teach me how to write. And he
That's
spent
awesome.
6 months with me. And, at first he was very reluctant, and by the way, he was the ghostwriter for Robert Ludlum. And,
wow.
A craggy old 84-year-old writer, but who graduated from Brown University, had really, really great pedigree. So he sat down, and we worked literally learning how to write a sentence, and then learning how to write a paragraph, and then how to create thoughts. Because it's not so much about what I have to say, it's more about the image that I want to portray to people. So I had to learn how to do that. And so that was step one. And then two, we worked on creating a foundation. So what's your point of view? My point of view, which I stated earlier, is that Jesus is pro-business, and he's pro-business person. And that many of his aspects of his life, particularly when you look at the parables, 35 of the 42 parables are related to commercial enterprise, which is one of the little-known things about the parables. So now what we had to do was then construct a thread. So we actually created 7 threads. The first one obviously being Jesus and his life, and so there's a lot in the book about Jesus. And then the second is the wonderful people I worked with. So one of the things that's important about this book is when you read it, you'll see a section about Jesus that provides history, provides theology, and it provides the background why Jesus did what he did. And then I bring it forward and compare it to somebody in the 21st century that relates back to what Jesus said, so that the reader can have an image of what it was that Jesus was talking about. You know, the third thread is myself, which is a neutral thread, but mostly just to explain how I knew these people and how I understood what Jesus was doing. And then the other four minor theological threads, other than the last one, which is that God is sovereign, and that holds the book together. So from that, particularly chapter 1, 2, and 3 are written to describe the basis of Jesus and how he worked with the marketplace and how he can be helpful with the marketplace. And then chapters 4 to 11 are very specific examples about how Jesus' lessons help us as business people or as everyday workers. Like there's a chapter on Jesus the great networker, Jesus the perfect salesperson. So whatever your job is, there's a chapter to help you with that job in the book. For instance, Jesus is the networker. Jesus would not tell you to call when you need to network, not call somebody up when you need them, but to nurture a relationship with them so that over time, when they need you, you're available, and when you need them, they're available too. So Jesus' main point is that you have to be mutual in your relationships. Another chapter is about Jesus, the perfect salesperson, which usually raises people's eyebrows. But if you think about it, if Jesus was a car salesman, and you were a family of 4, and you walked in to see Jesus, he is not selling you a Mustang, even if he would make more money selling you a Mustang. What he would do is he would sell you a car that fit your family's needs and try to help you in your life. So there's a lot of these examples throughout the book, and it constantly moves from the 1st century to the 21st century throughout the book.
We've got a great guest with us today. He joins us live here in our broadcast. The good doctor joins us, Dr. Bruce L. Hartman. Jesus & Co. is the latest from him. And what kind of reactions have been getting to the book so far?
Generally positive. All the reviews that we get are 5 stars. There's 1 4-star out there. And, you know, you can't focus on that. But generally we get great reviews. I've been on a lot of radio shows, television shows discussing the book. But for the most part, it's been accepted pretty well. I sometimes have to convince the pastors that it's okay for people to work, because people do have to pay the bills. And that if you go into a typical church on Sunday, I can guarantee you that half the people that are in the pews have to work on Monday morning.
Yes.
At least half. And so my challenge to the pastors out there is to take a book like this and help those people on Monday morning at 8:15 when they have their first temptation they have to deal with. And that's one of the things the book does, is help people deal with swimming with the sharks. But our pastors can do the same. So that's one of the things that I do have to push a little bit harder on. But we have received great reviews and wonderful reception at this point.
We've got Dr. Bruce L. Hartman with us today. Check out the book on Amazon. And Bruce, before we let you go, how do we find you online, social media, all that, my friend?
Well, I'm on all the social medias, Bruce L. Hartman. And I do have a website. It's www.brucelhartman.com. Besides the book, we also provide daily inspirations. Actually, 3 times a week we produce daily inspirations for people to read. That's also been well received. And I do help for free. I help businesses and people manage their lives, their business, and their careers as well.
Good stuff. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for being with us, and we'll talk to you soon. Good luck with the book, my friend.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, man. There goes Dr. Bruce L. Hartman. We are going to take a time out. Come back with more.